time period t for a simple pendulum is given by the formula t is equal to 2 pi times the square root of L over G. Find the value of t when G is equal to 10, L is equal to 4.9, and pi is equal to 22 over 7. And so here we have this equation, and they tell us that L is equal to 4.9, G is equal to 10, and we have that pi is equal to 22 over 7. And so let's substitute those values in. So in place of pi, we put 22 over 7. In place of L, we put 4.9. And in place of G, we put 10. And so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna calculate this so that we can be able to figure out what the value of t is, right? And so the first thing that we do is we multiply 2 by 22, and we get 44. So we have 44 over 7. Then we say 4.9 divided by 10 is 0.49. And the next thing that we do is we say, okay, what is the square root of 0.49? The square root of 0.49 is 0.7. And so now we have 44 over 7 multiplied by 0.7. Next thing we do is we multiply. So we say 0.7 multiplied by 44, and that gives us 30.8. So we have 30.8 divided by 7. And what is 30.8 divided by 7? Well, that's going to give us 4.4. So t is equal to 4.4, and that's the answer to this question. Next, our goal is to rearrange this formula to make L the subject. So here is L. Our goal is to make L the subject. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to try and get rid of this 2 pi, right? And the way that we do this is we're going to multiply both sides of this equation by 1 over 2 pi, all right? So we multiply this side by 1 over 2 pi and this side by 1 over 2 pi. The reason why we're doing that is because we want to get rid of this 2 pi. And what can we multiply by 2 pi to get rid of 2 pi? Well, 1 over 2 pi, because this 2 pi cancels out with this 2 pi. But whatever we do on this side, we have to do on this side. So if we multiply this side by 1 over 2 pi, we have to multiply this side by 1 over 2 pi. And so we are left with what? We're left with, remember this 2 pi and this 2 pi cancels out. And so we are left with 1 times the square root of L over G, which is simply the square root of L over G. Next we have t times 1 over 2 pi. And we multiply t times 1, which gives us t. So we have t over 2 pi. And so here we have t over 2 pi is equal to the square root of L over G. And we have to get rid of this square root sign. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna raise both sides of this equation to the power of 2, because we want to get rid of the square root sign, and that would allow us to cancel these two. So we cancel the square root with the power. And so we are left with what? L over G is equal to t over 2 pi. L over G is equal to t over 2 pi, all raised to the power of 2. Now remember, our goal is still to make L the subject of this equation. So we have to get rid of this G at the bottom. And in order to get rid of this G at the bottom, we have to multiply both sides of this equation by G. So we multiply the right side by G and the left side by G. This G cancel with this G. So we are left with L is equal to G multiplied by t over 2 pi, all raised to the power of 2. Now we switch this equation. And so we have that L is equal to G multiplied by t divided by 2 pi, all raised to the power of 2. And that's the answer to this question.